Hey there, it's Sam Ewan from CoinDesk. I'm here with Rand Goldi. Rand Goldi is the SVP, head of payments for Fireblocks. We're here at Stellar Meridian. Very excited to have a conversation. First, Rand, what are you doing here at Meridian? What were you talking about earlier today on stage?
Well, thanks for asking, and thanks for having me, Sam.
Yeah, of course.
What am I doing in Meridian? So, first of all, we're big advocates of Stellar. I think that very early on, we saw Stellar as probably one of the more prominent blockchains around payments specifically, which is where I come from. And I think we've been trying over the last several years to work with them as close as we can for cross-border payments, for payouts to individual type of payments. So we're very big on Stellar. Specifically today, I was very fortunate to lead two sessions. One was a session this morning about Fireblocks and how is Fireblocks helping to remove the complexities around digital assets, where I actually wanted to do a demo, but they told me last minute that I can't. So I flipped the whole lecture to product market fit and how did Fireblocks reach product market fit over the last several years, and how did we reach from 3 people to 650. So I think that was interesting. At least the crowd seemed to like it. Demos are boring anyway. And the second session was about interoperability for payments and what standards should we be looking for. And I want to say that for me, that was the second session was obviously it was very interesting because it was a panel with great people. Someone from Bitso was there. Digital Dollar Project was there. Jen was there from Digital Dollar Project. Also, we had a banker from one of the largest banks in Europe, Credit Agriculture, if you know them. And we had Tom from Chainlink. So for me, that was an interesting session because not a lot of times I get to ask tough questions for exchanges. For example, why aren't you working with other exchanges? Where's the interoperability there?
Right.
Or asking the Dollar Project representative Jen, do you think CBDCs are another way of the government to pretend they're upgrading their tech, but actually keeping power? And why aren't they working together with other governments? So those two sessions for me were fascinating, and the fact that I got to do it here in Meridian is great.
Amazing. I mean, you sort of touched on this, but why are digital assets so hard to work with today?
Right. I think, so first of all, I think they're not. I'll start with that.
Okay.
I think we make it complex, we as humanity, because first of all, we don't create the right set of settings. What I mean by that is regulation is still not fully enabling this. That creates a complexity. So you need to make sure you work with, if you're a bank and you want to get into this, first of all, you need to make sure that whoever it is you're working with is in the right status, posture, whatever in this industry, right? We've seen companies that weren't exactly in the right place. The second thing is obviously security, right? And again, maybe I'll go back on my statement. Security is still a big thing. It's still something that we believe we've solved in a way, and we believe that the way we've made security seamless for people is how we remove the complexity, right? If you've seen our talk at Black Hat about 2-3 weeks ago, we showed how everyone can be hacked, even the largest actors in the world, like BitGo or Coinbase or whatever. And obviously, we didn't do it just to hack them. We did it to actually improve security for everyone. We work with them to do this. But I think people are afraid of security. When we solved that in 2018, 19, I think that removed a lot of complexities. The other thing that people are finding hard to comprehend is the fact that if you actually tokenize things like securities, ETFs, for example, or if you tokenize currencies, right? They think that is complex because it's a smart contract. Oh, smart contract, that's coding. It's really not if you're using tools. It's like me telling you, start a website. You don't think about, oh, I need to get a server right now, right? I need to learn how to code from scratch. No, there's platforms to do this. So I think that is where our industry is going to right now. We're adding more tools. I think that is Fireblocks' mission really to enable all those tools so people could take advantage of this amazing ecosystem technology called blockchain.
And you mentioned that you're removing complexity for your clients, I assume. So tell us about how small businesses, large businesses are working with you guys to be able to sort of custody their assets, get more involved in the blockchain ecosystem. But it sounds like you then are providing a comfort layer for them in order to enter.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think when you work with large companies, when you work with clients in general, they're not looking for a technology most of the time. They're looking for a solution. They're looking for someone to take away their worry, their pain, their complexity, as you say. And I'll give you an example, Revolut, right? Revolut is one of the greatest fintechs in Europe. They don't need our help being a great fintech, but they were starting their way in crypto, and they had operational inefficiency. They found themselves moving funds between different wallets and ledgers and stuff like that. And when we came, we helped them scale the business from a few millions to, I believe now there are over 40 million different accounts right now on Revolut, where the backend for everything that's digital assets in Revolut is actually Fireblocks. That's one example. Enterprises need you to take that pain away, that complexity away. They don't want to worry about the security. They don't want to worry about the connectivity. That is what we're doing with them, for example. Another good example are payment companies, right? Let's look at the largest payment company in the world, WorldPay. They don't need our help with saying what they can do in payments. They don't need our help with moving money between their different clients. They need our help to get over the technological barrier that is called blockchain right now, and they need our help to make sure everything they do is still secured because they are a regulated entity. They have clients that are moving billions. So we help them, for example, move money across the world between whatever it is they process to their merchants or between their merchants and individuals. For example, if just as a theoretical example, an Airbnb homeowner needs to get paid, we would help WorldPay to do that, right? So I think our role in working with the organizations is very tied to your previous question.
Right.
It's how to take all the pain away and just give a solution, not just here's another tech provider.
Right. And so we've talked a little bit about your customers or the end customer as well as businesses who want to get in. We're here at Meridian with Stellar. How do you then also work with layer ones, layer twos, and other blockchains?
Right. So the first thing to know is that we want to support all blockchains. Unfortunately, that's almost impossible, as we've found out. The reason for that is when you support a new blockchain, you need to maintain that support over time. We now support 40 different blockchains. So it means we literally need to look at every blockchain every day. Is there any news? Is there any new APIs, whatever? So we try now, when we work with blockchains, to actually create a relationship with that blockchain. And it's very beneficial because when you have that relationship like the one we have with Stellar, then you know where they're going to go, what they're going to develop. But on the other side of that, coin is that we tell them what we're seeing with clients, right? So it's the same way that we have conversations with Aave, or we have conversations with the newer blockchains like Aptos and Miston. We want to bring them what we see that the market's actually, what the market wants and what's missing, if it's a protocol for tokenization baked into the blockchain, if it's something for regulation so that this blockchain could be used for payments in Europe under MiCA, whatever, right? So our relationship with blockchains, and Stellar is a great example for that, is a very symbiotic relationship. They tell us where they think the technology can go. We tell them where we think the use cases are, and together, hopefully, if we have a good relationship, we would build a sort of a joint roadmap for everyone.
And is that like services exchange as much as informational exchange?
It's both, yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk security for a second.
Yeah.
I know that's the business you guys are in. You're also in custody. We hear about hacks every week, every day sometimes. So how are we trying to make our lives easier and more secure in a space that just seems like the attack vectors are everywhere, and especially for the smaller person?
Yeah, no, that's a great point. Look, Fireblocks is a non-custodial solution in a way that we're not a custodian ourselves. We would give our solution to like a Bank of New York Mellon or, again, a large payment company or a Web3 company, and they can hold their own currencies, or if they're a custodian, they can run a custodian business, right? The way we look at security, and there's obviously a whole talk we can do about this, is zero trust. In terms of when we built Fireblocks, we've built it Like we believe one of the developers could be malicious. We believe someone could always actually hack Fireblocks from the inside as a bad actor. And when you build a product with zero trust, like we did, then it makes it easier to, I guess, take care of the security aspect. Again, I don't want to get into the
Yep.
the bolts of everything, but I think the way we're looking at security is that we don't think we've built the best secured, most secured platform. We always assume there's a malicious actor somewhere, so we always just try to look at how are we working in a zero trust environment, and how can the organization running on Fireblocks believe us that even if they have a malicious actor, they're still safe. So that's sort of our security, I guess, paradigm.
And then just finally, I was reading you just launched a non-custodial wallet and wallet as a service. Tell us how those products are going to come out and how people are going to use them.
That is something that I think the industry has been after for years, but there was actually not a lot of audience for that, for the non-custodial piece. I think what we're going to see now, and this is true for the last probably 12 to 18 months, a lot of the more traditional companies, the Web2 companies, right, are coming in. Obviously, Reddit is a good example for a company that made a splash with it, but I think every Reddit, every LinkedIn, every e-commerce platform, eBay, Shopify, whatever, they would need that because they now understand that it's not just about Bitcoin, it's not just about Ethereum, it's about really digital assets from stable coins to NFTs. And if they want to support that, without being a custodian, which applies a lot of other regulations on them, they need the non-custodial solution. So if you ask me if I had to bet, non-custodial wallet would probably be the #1 product, not just for Fireblocks, for any company that's providing that for the next 5 years. I think that's going to be a boom, and I hope we meet here next year
Talk about
and
that.
talk about that.
Amazing. Goldi, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you, Sam.
Good luck with everything. It seems like you're working on some amazing projects.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next year.
Thank you so much.
All right.